What's up, everybody? This is your man Dre Mac, coming to you again with another reaction video. This is a different type of reaction because we have two completely different sides of the coin. We got Rippaverse versus Black Sands Entertainment, comic creators beefing. But the real question is, are you ready? Alright, so this particular episode is going to be about the beef between Black Sands Entertainment and Rippaverse, and I kind of want to jump into this because it's actually a great space to talk about, because I am a comic book fan and I was going to make an announcement on the YouTube channel anyway, which I'm doing now, that I'm going to start doing a lot more of the entertainment reactions, reacted to Marvel, DC, comic books, movies, entertainment, a lot more toy stuff or whatever. So a lot of things is changing here on the Dre Mac Show on the channel anyway. So I'm looking on IG and I see Black Sands tag this ISOM post where Eric July, who created this comic called ISOM, has blown completely to bits. He's like over $2 million on pre-sales and stuff like that. I think he's getting ready to start shipping today. I mean, just an incredible feat for a black comic creator. But he got featured on Fox News as the non-quote-unquote woke comic creator. And I posted this on, I reposted the Fox News tweet just so I could be able to go back and I can be able to look at this. And basically it says, Eric D. July's newly launched non-woke comic book defines cancel culture, brings over $1.7 million in 4 days, which is an incredible accomplishment. And shout out to Eric July, you know, a young Ripper 59 that's on YouTube. Shout out to him for even this accomplishment, and fair use. As far as the videos, it's fair use. I want to be able to play your video so I could be able to show everybody what your side of the table is. Now, with Black Sands Entertainment has been touted as the #1, you know, black owned comic book creator or comic book content out here, as far as individuals making comic creations. And I do have Black Sands comics and stuff like that. I actually bought a Black Sands comic coloring book for my kids, because he's very pro-black. He's very Afrocentric, especially the stories that he's telling from Africa and Kemet, putting black people back in Africa and Kemet as they should. Where these two sides, I can see where these two sides have a problem is that you have one side that's very pro-black and he makes his content for black people and he pushes, you know, the black agenda of you've whitewashed our history, I'm going to give you that history back. So that's his side, and make it, you know, incredible comics that gears towards that particular genre of people. Eric's comic just came out. I haven't read it. Nobody has read it because it hasn't officially been shipped out yet. And from the article, and I'm gonna just read in the article here, because one thing I don't like to do, because I'm not one of those type of people who, you know, I'm picking one side or the other. I'm gonna get to, you know, the crux of this in just a second. But in the article, it actually says that, it says, writer, content creator, and musician Eric July is adding a new feather to his cap, comic book creator. July officially launched his first comic book, ISOM #1, through publishing company Rippaverse on Monday, and it has been a smashing success. July's book has already brought brought in more than 1.7 million in pre-orders in just the first 4 days. 19,000 people have pre-ordered, but not everyone is happy about it. The release of Item #1 created somewhat of a stir on social media, in particular on Reddit, where promotional videos for the comic were banned for certain subreddits for supporting comics from hate groups. Now, let's get to why this is a thing. I went to Eric's YouTube channel, which is, again, Young Ripper 59, and he is very political in his content, and he's very against the leftists from what I gathered. Now, you tell me something different, but from the videos that I watched, and I watched a lot of his stuff because I'd never heard, I'm gonna be honest with you, never even heard of this dude until Black Sans popped up, because I got kids and all family, I got a lot, but never heard of this guy. And I went to his channel because I wanted to see what all the hoopla is about. And you know, he's very political in his stance. He's very against leftist movements. He's very anti-abortion. He lets it be known. You know, he took a picture with Kyle Rittenhouse, which is very controversial if you're especially in this day and age. Anything that you do is going to be very controversial to somebody. He took a picture with Gina Carrera, especially after she was fired by Disney, after her comments that they deemed was anti-Semitic, anti-trans. So he's very polarizing in that stance, even though he is considered, he's self-considered a libertarian. He is very much on against the leftist movement, which I can completely understand that. So a lot of this stuff, even his critique on Star Wars and different things like this, and different comic books, and pushing particular agendas, he's very strong in those views. Just like Black Sans Entertainment is very strong in their views about pushing pro-blackness, especially when it comes to certain areas like Egypt and ancient history and stuff like that. So I get it. This is where I have a problem. This is my opinion, but I felt like Black Sans, which I'm gonna read before I even go there. Let me just read exactly what he put on his post. He says, "We always said that there is a lot of money in Sambo life. The Fox News article is exactly what I expected. People will still argue with me that this guy isn't exactly what he been for the last few years." Which, again, I've never heard of this guy beforehand, so I don't know exactly what that meant when he mentioned this. And that's because of the tweet of Fox News, newly launched non-woke comic book defies cancel culture. And Fox News, anytime a black man gets on Fox News, he could be selling oranges, you're automatically gonna get dogpiled on, because Fox, you got interviewed, you whatever from Fox News. And since he's very against the leftist movement, MSNBC, CNN, none of them are picking this up. They're not gonna pick this up. So this is what Eric said in response to Black Sans Entertainment. I'm gonna play that video right now.
I just put something out that got people interested, and yeah, they paid for the product. That's all that it did. I didn't have to go to an investor. In fact, that was one of the talking points on one of the trailers that I talked about, and that there's no external investors here. So the person that's bankrolling this company that you're griping about because Fox News, of all people, said something positive about it, is owned by a black man who is also married to a black woman. And you have an issue with that, and you're making an enemy out of that, which is goofy. Like, there could have been an opportunity for maybe even a collaboration effort, because again, I'm not knocking anybody in this space, and I believe that folks that just want to make good content, detached from maybe what the mainstream guys want to, the old saying is, you know, the soda rides and tide lifts all boats. There could have been something that you could have got from that, but instead you are knocking another black man, by the way, And you are, because you called me a Sambo, which let me get this out the way. You a sucker for exactly that. In an event that you would like to reach out to me directly and actually have a conversation about that, because you're trying to make a claim that's a negative connotation based upon my race. So what we have here is a black man disparaging another black man based upon his race, right? Not because he's just this ain't well, we disagree and therefore he's disagreeing because he's black. No, we saw the receipts of this person actually referring to me to a derogatory term that is playing on the race. Okay, so a black man disparaging another black man because he's black and doing something, and maybe because, I don't know, you got some like crown that you think you have because you're the #1 black publisher, and maybe overnight that kind of changed.
Okay, so you guys seen the video. And to get fair use, I'm showing this video to make a point. He says something that I really agree with him on. And that is, you have to, if you don't, we get to this point where we don't agree with someone's views. Just like I didn't agree with the senator out of Rhode Island twerking. Because that makes no sense for a public official to be representing me in the Senate to be doing that. At the same time, if she wasn't, if she was available to call and talk, well, she was like, I can do whatever I want to, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter to me. So we wouldn't have got anywhere. But I wish these brothers would talk. And I'm going to play this clip from Kevin Samuels because this is going to make a lot of sense. Here's the clip right now.
As black men, we need to start calling out black men who play with the image of other black men. Speak to a man before getting online talking about a man. Because that's what we have witnessed. People getting online trashing a man's image as if that was not a man. And we're so used to laughing at it. If you laugh at it, you're complicit in the destruction, in your own image destruction. If you laugh at tearing down another man, don't be surprised when it comes your direction. And we're the only group that really runs to do that. That's why it's so easy to do it. Let me ask you folks a question. He said it the other day. We can all tell you about Ray Rice. We can all tell you about what happened to Jay-Z on the elevator, but tell me the name of the Seattle player that damn near killed that woman and left her for dead. Why is it? Because we don't control our own media image. That's the thing I've been preaching for the longest. Black men need their own media for them by them. But until we have it, we need to do one thing, a black male code. We don't go to the internet talking shit about each other. That's off code. Understand that image is power, and everybody else seems to understand its power. When a black man going to decide to start going in their pockets and funding it for ourselves? Because I don't think you guys get it. Why would anybody else want to build it for you if they benefit off of you being where you are? The chances are there now if you can just stay out of each other's way. Shout out to brother Tariq Nasheed. I'm gonna say that too. And it's funny, I heard somebody went on this show and tried to ask him how he thought about me. And that brother said some of the things that I do, he likes. Appreciate you for staying on code, man. That man didn't say he liked everything I do. I'm quite sure there's a lot of stuff I'll say that he vehemently disagrees with. But instead he just decided to say, I like this, and the rest of it, none of your business.
Okay, so you guys seen that clip. And it's because we do need to stay on code. As black men, sometimes we get to a point where we do beef with each other. And we make it a little bit more difficult to be able to come to an understanding. Now, I'm gonna use this example. In the 1960s with the Black Panther Party and everything, you know, they reached out to the KKK to have a conversation with them. Just to have a conversation. Two completely different factions, completely different sides, come into a common understanding. And that's where we have to get to. is a common understanding. And nowadays, if you talk to anybody, like they were mad when people was, you know, okay, puppy. They were mad when people were talking to Trump. And black people shouldn't be talking to Trump. Black people shouldn't be talking. You have to come and have a conversation. Sometimes you have to sit down. You have to sit down with the devil to know what he's doing. If that, and not calling Trump a devil or whatever, I'm not even getting into that, because they ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is that if you got a problem with somebody, and even if they have a different political viewpoint, they got a completely different personality than you, and you have a platform, and I literally just said this. If you have a platform, black men need to come together and talk. This is the same thing with, in one of my videos, Kevin Samuels and Dr. Umar. Sitting down and having a conversation where we could be able to get an understanding. We could be able to find out what's going on. We could be able to talk. And I understand exactly where the young brother Eric is coming from. Dude, if I've never said that I didn't like your content, but to call me a Sambo, and I'm another black man like you, just trying to make something creative in my own image, in my own view. No different than Bob Kane, no different than a lot of Steve Ditko and Stan Lee, no different than these guys. And if you don't like my political views or anything, come and have a conversation with me instead of going on social media to diss me. Now, the backlash of that is now you got trolls on both sides going to these guys' accounts. One pro Black Sands, the other one's pro Rippaverse. Where we could have did this on a platform to show two black men coming together, having a conversation and talking about it and trying to get a common ground, where I understand where you coming from, you understand where I'm coming from. I'm congratulating you on your success. You know, you're hitting almost 2 million, you know, copies of your comic. It's different than mine, but congratulations. I think as black men, sometimes we have a lot of problem with that because of our ego. So we feel entitled. And that's a lot of this. To me, you know, I'm a little older now, and the entitlement is just really ridiculous, man. Because we have a platform, we have numbers, and we've been here, and we are, you know, I just feel like you shouldn't do it like how you do it. You should do it like, we should all be on one accord. And everybody's not going to be on one accord, and we have to understand that. At the same time, I have to understand that you think differently to me. How could we come to a common ground if there's a common ground to be made? And if there's a common ground to be made, even though we have different political views, we can still be able to come together and work together and be something greater. That way, we are showing people that this person over here, yeah, they might think different than me, but we can still unite. Unless there's no unification that could be made. But if I never reach out and try. The only reason why I made that video about the senator out of Rhode Island, because she had condescending thoughts when people's like, dude, you're a senator. What are you twerking for? I can do whatever I want to. You know, they're not going to stop me from doing it. It's just because you're a senator. I don't want to see Maxine, what's her name? You know what I'm talking about. I don't want to see her twerking. You know what I mean? I don't want to see Kamala Harris throw it back in the circle. It's the reason why I did that. Because you're in a place of power, and I don't need that, you know, from that. But these two brothers who have strong platforms, Eric has his platform, Black Sands has his platform, or Rippaverse. Let's come together. Let's talk about it. All right, this is your man Dre Mac. Thank you so very much for stopping by, listening to what I gotta say. Like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully you understand my views. If you don't, pop it in the comment sections, because people is gonna disagree, and that's okay. You know, it's okay for you to disagree with me. So pop it in the comment section. If you agree, put it in the comment section. Until next time, I'll holler at y'all later. Bye-bye.